The market is in correction mode, and yet Intel just rallied 185% in 8 weeks. Semiconductors are screaming while the broader tape bleeds. This is Gainster, and today's drive scores tell a story Wall Street doesn't want you to hear.
This is your drive score update for June 10th, 2026, U.S. Eastern Time.
Market overview.
We're sitting at 7 distribution days with no follow-through day confirmed. That's a market correction regime, folks. But here's where it gets interesting. Out of 12 stocks on the watch list, 5 are still glowing green with drive scores above 87 sit in the yellow zone. That green cluster is almost entirely semiconductors, and they're holding up like a fortress in a correction. You want to watch the leaders that refuse to break. Those are your first movers when the tide turns best stocks to buy now in June 2026. Keep this list close. If you want these drive score updates daily, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a setup. Today's news.
First up, AMD Advanced Micro Devices. Seeking Alpha is reporting that agentic AI could be a major tailwind that shocks the market. The thesis here is that AMD's custom AI accelerator pipeline is landing enterprise contracts faster than expected, and agentic workloads demand exactly the kind of flexible compute AMD specializes in.
Next, Micron Technology, ticker MU. The headline says Micron's parabolic run may have more room to go, and looking at the stock sitting near $892 after a 131% rally, you'd think it's overextended. But HBM demand from AI data centers is creating a supply squeeze that keeps pricing power firmly in Micron's hands. And more on AMD, a second article argues the AI story is no longer speculative. It's funded real revenue, real contracts, real growth. When you see 2 bullish articles on the same stock in one day, the market is paying attention. AMD's drive score of 90 out of 100 confirms the institutional interest is there. Stock spotlights. ALAB, this semiconductor name, scored a perfect 100 on the drive with a relative strength of 97. It's running a power play pattern, having rallied 130% in 8 weeks from 149 to 343. It's now pulling back just 7.5% into a tight flag. That's the shallowest pullback among our leaders, a sign of serious demand underneath. Dell Technologies, ticker DELL, also sitting at a perfect drive score of 100 with relative strength 95. Computer hardware is on fire. Dell rallied 137% in 8 weeks, from 178 up to 421, now pulling back about 12% into a flag consolidation around 370. The AI server build-out is Dell's golden ticket right now. Micron Technology. MU carries a drive score of 90 and the highest relative strength in today's entire list. At 99, another power play, it exploded from 421 to 971, a 131% move. Now consolidating in an 11% flag pullback near 892. When a stock near $900 pulls back only 11% after doubling, that tells you institutions are sitting on their shares, not selling them. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, also scores 90 on the drive with relative strength of 97. It ran a power play from 245 all the way up to 516, a 111% gain. Currently pulling back 12% into a flag around 452, with 2 bullish news catalysts hitting today, and AI revenue now confirmed. AMD is like a coiled spring resting on a launching pad. The question is when, not if. Now for something different. DY, Dycom Industries, from the engineering and construction space. Drive score 70 with relative strength 88. This one's carving a classic cup with handle pattern. The cup ran from 446 down to 324 and back up to 465. The handle dipped to 399. Setting up a breakout level above 465. A non-tech leader quietly building its base, worth watching. If these drive score breakdowns are helping your trading, smash the like button. It helps more traders find us. Today's top pick. Today's number 1 pick is Intel, ticker INTC, with a perfect drive score of 100 out of 100 and relative strength of 98. Intel is running a textbook power play in the semiconductor group. It launched from $44 all the way to $125. That's a 185% eruption in just 8 weeks. Now it's resting in a 21% flag pullback around 107. Think of Intel right now as a rocket that just completed its first stage burn. It's paused in orbit, shedding weak hands before the next ignition. The bull case, Intel's foundry renaissance and AI chip contracts are drawing institutional money like a magnet. The risk a 21% pullback in a correction market could deepen if distribution days pile up further. But that drive score tells you the smart money hasn't left the building.
I want to hear from you. Which semiconductor name are you most bullish on right now? Drop your pick in the comments below.
Honourable Mentions.
Here's the rest of the watch list, scrolling through 12 names total today. Beyond our spotlights, keep an eye on the yellow zone stocks. In a correction, these are the names building cause. If the market flips to a confirmed uptrend, the yellows with improving relative strength could be your next breakout candidates. Watch for any that tighten up and start climbing toward green territory. Here's what I'm thinking about tonight. We're in a correction with 7 distribution days and no follow-through. And yet 5 stocks just scored green on the drive. Semiconductors are defying gravity. History shows that the stocks which hold up best during corrections lead the next rally. So don't panic, but don't get reckless either. Build your watch list now so you're ready to strike when the follow-through day finally arrives. Tomorrow, watch for any change in distribution day count and whether Intel can hold above 105. This has been Gainster Trade. Smart, stay patient, and I'll see you tomorrow.